Modern Warfare 2 got a brand new update today that changed things for multiplayer, Warzone, and DMZ. As always, we're going to be covering everything that happened in this update in a rapid style video. That way you can quickly watch this video and get right back into game. If you're new here and want to see more content like this, make sure to unlock that subscribe button. Starting off, let's go over the global changes, which means they affect all the modes within Modern Warfare 2. There was an issue with some notifications in the menu getting cut off and not showing the full text. That has been fixed. Now we've got weapon buffs and nerfs, and there's some really interesting ones in here. They start off with assault rifles, but the first assault rifle they list is the RPK, which is an LMG, so I'm not sure what's going on with that. Increased initial bullet vertical recoil, increased horizontal recoil, reduced damage ranges. So the RPK already got nerfed once at the start of Season 2. It got nerfed even harder. So I'm interested to go in game and see how usable the RPK is now, because even after the nerf, it was still very strong, and this might have hit it even harder than the first nerf. Then we've got the Cast Off 7.62, reduced damage ranges, ISO Hemlock. This was the new AR that was just added with Season 2. Fix an issue causing the .300 blackout ammunition to register as HITSCAN. I just found out about this issue yesterday, but if you put on this ammunition type and you went into DMZ or Warzone, you could shoot an enemy across the map, and if you shot the bullet, it pretty much immediately hit them. There was no travel time. It was acting as a HITSCAN weapon. Submachine guns. Yes, the Fennec got another nerf. Reduced far damage, reduced damage against armor. Requires 2 additional bullets to break 3 armor plates. That's going to be a pretty big nerf. The Fennec already got nerfed once at the start of Season 2. They're nerfing it even harder, and I think this one's going to impact it a lot. Next, we've got the Battlerifles, TAQ Recon, increased sprint speed, so a little bit of a buff for the TAQ Recon. Then we've got the Lockman 7.62, increased damage range, reduced ADS speed, reduced hip spread minimum, increased hip spread while moving, and then increased sprint speed. So overall, these were mainly buffs for the Lockman, so it's going to be interesting to see if this is now a contender. Then we've got the SO14, which I already really like for DMZ. Increased movement speed, so that's going to be very, very helpful, especially for DMZ. We've got the TAQ-V, reduced near damage, reduced muzzle velocity, reduced far damage range, reduced movement speed. That's quite a few nerfs for the TAQ-V. I wasn't a huge fan of this to begin with. Now it's something I'm probably definitely not going to use. Now we've got attachment changes. Incendiary ammunition, residual incendiary damage will no longer eliminate players. So if you shoot someone, they're at 3 health and they're on fire, that fire damage alone cannot eliminate them. You're going to have to finish them off with something else, because the fire damage can take them down, but not enough to fully take them out. Fix an issue that prevented residual incendiary damage from being applied to armor. Fix an issue that allowed sniper rifles to down players with 3 armor plates in a single shot while using the incendiary ammunition. I've seen a lot of people in DMZ and Warzone switching to incendiary rounds because that was a way at close ranges to down an enemy in one single shot. If you hit them in the head, that no longer works. Even if you have the highest damage sniper in the game, you have the incendiary rounds, you shoot someone in the face, if they have a 3 armor plate, that is not going to down them anymore after this update. Next, we've got the multiplayer exclusive changes. Fix an issue that caused some elements to be missing in the after action report. Fix collision issues with various elements on Embassy. Fix an issue allowing players to leave Farm 18 in affected ranked play. Fix an issue that was occasionally causing players to receive harsher suspensions than intended. Fix an issue causing players to get kicked out for inactivity despite being active in a match. I saw multiple tweets where people were playing S&D, watching a bomb site like you're supposed to be doing, and they got kicked for inactivity, and it was ranked play. If you get kicked for that, you know, you got a penalty, you receive SR, and you get banned for a little bit. So I'm really glad this inactivity thing's been fixed. We got one Spec Ops change. Fixed an issue stopping a player being unable to move if they use the terminals at the same time as another player. We got a playlist update for Warzone. All of this is the same that we had before. The new thing being today they added solo resurgence for Ashika Island. So if you wanted to play resurgence but you didn't want to play in quads, you didn't have any friends to play with, you can now play it completely solo. Adjusted the positioning of some geographical elements on Ashika Island to allow for better cover during engagements. So if you log on today and you notice there's some slight changes to Ashika Island, that was to allow for better cover during engagements. Fix collision issues with various elements across Ashika Island, allowing players to exploit /peek /shoot through them. Fix an issue that caused the correct combination of attachments with incendiary rounds to allow sniper rifles to down players in a single shot. That's what we talked about with the incendiary rounds up there. They've nerfed them, so it's not possible. You cannot down a player with a sniper in a single shot, and they're pretty much saying it again down here in a bug fix. And they're stating, yeah, we never intended for the snipers to one-shot. The whole thing going on with that, with the incendiary rounds, that was a bug. Some more Battleroyal changes. They fix an issue with purchase loadout drop markers not equipping to the active field upgrade slot. They fix an issue with the most wanted contract tooltip. It was indicating a 4-minute timer when it was actually a 3-minute timer. They fix an issue with Battleroyal solo still using the 2v2 gulag. They fixed the issue where sometimes it would say that you placed 155th upon being eliminated from Battleroyal. And next we've got the DMZ exclusive exclusive changes, fix an issue causing AI reinforcements on Ashika Island to clip through certain buildings. I saw this a lot while doing strongholds. I'd be shooting at a bot and then he just phased through the wall and I could no longer shoot him and he'd come back in through the door, and you'd be shooting all these bots and they just disappear outside of the building. That's been fixed. They fixed an exploit that allowed players to get a weapon with extra attachments. They fixed an issue where players would get stuck with a repeating downloading instant inventory message. I never personally got this, but I had a friend who would get this, would play a game of DMZ, go back to the menu, downloading instant inventory would pop up on their screen. They'd close it, it'd pop back up. The only way for them to fix it was to completely close the game and relaunch it. And that happened so often to them, it was just pure annoying. So if you're one of the people who has the issue with the downloading instant inventory bug, hopefully you don't see that anymore. They're saying it's been fixed. Then they fix an issue that would cause a floating cache during the radioactive materials contract. The rest of the stuff down here was stuff that got updated earlier in the week that we covered in our last video. And with that, that's everything that changed in today's update. The biggest takeaways being snipers can no longer be a one-shot kill, the RPK got nerfed, the Fennec got nerfed, and there was a bunch of bug fixes. If you guys want to see any more rapid style COD content just like this where we give you all the news with no BS, make sure to unlock that subscribe button.